The president under intense pressure to decide whether or not to extend the August 31st deadline to keep U.S. troops in Kabul, as a countless number of Americans remain stranded behind enemy lines right now. European allies are also expected to urge Biden to extend the deadline at the virtual G7 meeting taking place later today. Joining me right now is Fox News senior strategic analyst, General Jack Keane. And General, we are so fortunate here at Fox to have your incredible expertise to walk us through this crisis. Thanks very much for being here this morning.
Yeah, delighted to be here, Maria.
So how do you see things? I mean, I was just struck by the op-ed in the Journal this morning, the Taliban's August 31st red line. First, President Biden tells us he's got the red line of August 31st. Now we know it's virtually impossible to get everybody out by then. And the Taliban says, if you're not out by the 31st, it will provoke reaction, from a spokesperson of the Taliban. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, we have said here on Fox, ever since we recognized that we had to make a hasty withdrawal and evacuation of our people, we said that what the United States policy should be is that we're going to stay in Afghanistan and get all of our people out, regardless of how long it takes. We're not leaving until the mission is complete. And that should have been said at the outset. 31 August is President Biden's self-imposed deadline, which was so ill-conceived, it caused all of these problems because there's no conditions for it. And now we're going to walk away from the number one condition that we imposed on ourselves, which is get American citizens out and our Afghan partners, and we're going to wash our hands of that and say, oh, we'll turn this over to the International Red Cross or somebody else to do that. Our national honor is on the line here, Maria. And we have got to get this right. The whole world is watching us. Yeah. And we've already had chaos and debacle here. And we've got to finish this thing in a manner that keeps the American people connected. They know full well that their citizens there and their Afghan partners are there. And we cannot walk away from them. That would be an absolute travesty. As it is, it's going to not take weeks or months to recover from this foreign policy and national security blunder. It's going to take years in terms of the consequences on our allies and the consequences it has dealing with our adversaries.
Yeah, I think you said it so well when you just said our national honor is at stake here, because I've been quoting the historian Bernard Lewis now for a week because he worried that the greatest danger to global stability is when America comes to be seen as harmless as an enemy and treacherous as a friend. The mistake is in clear sight when you look at the number of troops on the ground today, and that's what Senator Tom Cotton raised with me on Sunday. We've got, what, 7,000 troops today versus 2,500 troops when Biden first told us he wants everybody out by August 31. Here's Tom Cotton from Sunday. Watch this, General.
I think this illustrates very well Joe Biden's incompetence in handling this withdrawal. When he announced the withdrawal back in the spring, we had about 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. We now have 7,000 troops in Afghanistan, Maria, to try to get Americans out. So we have almost 3 times as many troops in Afghanistan to get out of Afghanistan as we had when Joe Biden announced that we were getting out of Afghanistan. Nothing could probably better indicate the incompetence of Joe Biden in executing this withdrawal.
Your thoughts, General, how do we get out of this? Tell us your thoughts on what President Biden needs to do now.
Well, first of all, he needs to tell the Taliban what we intend to do, and that is get all of our people out. And that may take some time, as we've seen here. After all, it is the Taliban that are obstructing and constipating this process. They have the fault for this thing being delayed as much as it is. So we have got to get back in charge of our own destiny here. Yeah, I understand what Secretary Blinken said. The Taliban are in control of Kabul, but we own our destiny. And our destiny is to get our people out of there, and we don't leave till that's done. The other thing is, there's no discussion whatsoever about what are we doing about the people who can't get to Kabul, Maria, because the Taliban owns all the road arteries, and they're certainly at checkpoints up there. And we can work out plans if we have the will to go get those people at different parts of Afghanistan and set up hubs to do that. and tell the Taliban, well, this is what we fully intend to do, and take charge of that.
Yeah.
But I hear no plans about that whatsoever, and that is very disturbing.
Well, now,
I mean, at the end,
we did,
go ahead, Maria.
We did get confirmation that the head of the CIA met with the head of the Taliban yesterday. So perhaps this is what they're trying to do, but the Taliban's making it real public, saying there will be a response if you're not out of here by August 31st. And then, of course, General, there's all of that military equipment that was left. It's been seized by the Taliban, has no plans. We have no plan to try and retrieve it, I guess, as the Taliban is bragging and posting photos with U.S. military hardware captured, including helicopters, the Black Hawks, artillery, guns, night vision goggles, General. How does this affect our national security? I mean, it's pretty incredible that Joe Biden is trying to take away Americans' guns, and yet he's just armed a terrorist organization, the Taliban, with some $80+ billion worth of weaponry.
Listen, Maria, I mean, the collapse of Afghanistan, al-Qaeda regaining its previously held safe haven, and this ill-conceived, hasty withdrawal is one of the most serious foreign policy blunders and national security mistakes that any administration has made post-World War II. I mean, that's the seriousness of what we're about. And the fact that the equipment that was in the hands of the Afghan military is now in the hands of the Taliban, that's what defeat looks like. That's the reality of war. They're going to take, the victor takes your territory and he takes your property. That's the result of it. Now, could a better job been done in maybe destroying some of that equipment? Yeah, absolutely right. But I know for a fact there's nothing there that's classified that's given away America's advanced technology. So that's a good thing. But yeah, all of that's profoundly disappointing. Listen, if we set conditions for the withdrawal, this whole collapse is avoided because we make certain that it's done in the wintertime, not in the middle of the fighting season. And yes, we may have had to bring in additional troops so the other troops can take down the 7 military bases and make certain that we're still providing support to the Afghan military that's out there. This just was not done right. And that date certain of 31 August got us in trouble right in the beginning, and it's still plaguing us now, which just should be fundamentally removed. It should be conditions-based. The condition, we got all of our people out. Then we go home.
That seems like something that experienced generals, I mean, in the military would understand, that you don't move in, do a withdrawal during the summer when the Taliban is in fighting form versus in the winter when perhaps they're hiding in caves and not so ready. General, I know I've heard you say that a couple times on the air. It's a mystery as far as why Joe Biden did not know that. Are you worried about pictures of, heads being chopped off again like we used to see years ago, now that we know that Afghanistan may very well be returning to a haven for terrorists?
Yeah, they're not going to publicize those kind of events on the internet, I don't believe, like ISIS did, who was, fighting for identification. But they will be very deliberate and systematic in going about finding everyone who worked for the United States or our coalition partners, NATO partners who were there, and they will kill them, and they will kill some of their family as well. That has already started.
Wow.
That's been their pattern in the past, and they will have the time to go about this thing and get it done. That's why we have to stay the course, buckle down right now, and get these folks out. Their lives are literally dependent on it.
Wow. General, thanks very much for weighing in. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks very much for talking us through it. We will see you soon.
Yeah, great talking to you.
General Jack Keane joining us this morning.